Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here at Queenie's, boys and girls. And welcome to this another brand new day. Yes, indeed, a brand new day filled with hope and promise, and not only hope and promise, but hamsters too. And other small rodents, of course. In fact, I have a small rodent story of when I went walkies the other day. This is, of course, Dust Mop. He's just very active. Don't back up, you're gonna fall, little guy. He's just very active. He's running around in his little bin home. So I wanted to bring him out and show him off. But my little story is I was walking downtown in the afternoon. Now, I don't know if it was a field mouse or a shrew, but I was walking along the Bellingham, boy, talk about Freudian slip. That's the town I grew up in. It's like 120,000 people now. But I was walking by the Shelton Athletic Club, and I noticed out of just the corner of my eye, there was a little bit of black movement along the ground, and I thought at first it was just wind blowing something, but then I looked down and it was like either a little field mouse or a little shrew. I was like, oh no, because we're not in the middle of the block, but it's a big building, and it's almost in the middle, so there's a long distance that way to get to anywhere, front of a building, and then there's traffic back this way. Oh, the poor little thing. So, to make sure that it wasn't going to just get stuck there, because it had been scrabbling at a door, trying to get away from everything happening outside. Next to the athletic club is the big place. Well, there used to be the bowling alley. Bowling alley burned down. It was just a blank concrete lot there. They tore that down, finally got rid of all that. The athletic club has expanded. It is a large lot of grass with some beauty bark around it and a fence. So I got my bag, and slowly and carefully I angled myself behind and to the side so that it wouldn't go back toward me and it wouldn't go over toward the street, and then I just kept scaring it along this way by moving my bag toward it. And I moved it all the way along the building, around the corner, and then it dashed toward the grass. And I felt good about that, because there's no guarantee that the little fella or fellowess, whoever, gender on a little critter, doesn't matter, with the little spud, it may not have died, but it might have. And so everything deserves a chance to live, and I'm glad I helped. Really quick before I go into the other main part of the video here, Gojira has not been doing well. You know that. I've been talking about it daily. She has been... Well, yesterday, I noticed that she was like cold and moving slower, and then I realized that in this part of her life, she doesn't need to be extra cold, and it's hot. So she needs to be warmish, because hamsters are desert creatures, but I need to cool down. So, because all the air from the outside was blowing right off the side of her little bin home, I took a bunch of cardboard boxes. I put them on the two sides where the air came through. And so she's got cardboard insulation and cardboard insulation. Not flat. These boxes, they're like little Debbie snack cake boxes. So they're like this thick with air for insulation, and there were air insulation there, air insulation on the side, and then I don't know if you notice, if you can see it down, no matter what I do, down in here on the side thing, I don't know when it's going to show up, but if you look on one of the side things, it's all that colorful stuff with tape on it. I also put some cardboard over the top so that the air wouldn't just immediately rush over the lip of her home and then straight down onto her. So now, reach down inside of there, and it's not, hot, but it's warmer. And so she's been warmer, and that's good. But when I came into here this morning, because I don't know, she's not long for the world anymore. Her sun is setting fast. That happens. But I came in, and she was still not moving. And I went, oh no. Well, at least she's not hurting. Reached down, grabbed a piece of tissue that was covering her, and she leaped up. Just went, ah! So she was just sleeping in a way that I couldn't see her breathing, and she scared me, and then I scared her. But she's down there I've put food right next to where she is. I've got her little water dish. I moved that a lot closer. She was up and moving last night because stuff that had been in the same little boxy type area where she's got her little home right now, some of that stuff had been moved out, and it was fairly large. The only way it could have done that is if she nosed it out. So she's still as active as she can be, but her sun is setting fast. It's probably like 5:45, and it's going to be all down and dark and nothing left at 6. So always a piece of your heart. But for the Shelton, Washington walkies, weather, plague, rat, and spider report. For the weather, it was not so much sunny most of the day yesterday, and then got sunny, and so, good. And then that was nice. Then it got hot, and so I was struggling to keep her warm and not me burning up, and my computer from burning up. So thumbs up on that. But it's probably going to be warmish and not rain again. So we need the rain. Yay. Plague rat report, of course, people walking around with their masks pulled down. I mean, that's a given. I don't want to talk about the politics of this thing, because in the United States it's become a political thing, because you've got even the administration saying these are the rules, follow the CDC rules, and if you follow them, we're going to punish you, and we're ridiculing you for even thinking of following them. But you need to follow them, but if you do, we're going to punish you for it. Yay. Spider report. I was doing something over here, and I had noticed some movement down under there. Now, the thing that I put my monitor is, and I have an external hard drive, and it's got a slidey thing out. It's not a desk per se. It's like a chest of drawers thing, except you don't put drawers on it, and it's got keyboard garage. But it's only got one keyboard garage, so it's kind of like a desktop thing. But I was doing something, looking down, and there was one of those small body, long leg spiders that was right on the cords. You say where the keyboard garage comes out, I run my cables down, push the cables between the keyboard garage and the main body of the thing to keep the desk team. I keep saying the word desk. Keyboard garage from sliding in and out, and keeps the cables moving around. One of those spiders was dingy-dangling around right in there. So I quickly grabbed something over here, came back over here to try and move it, and I couldn't see it. So I just took the long stick and banged and thumped it around in all the areas where I found the spider first, just to gather up any webs and to scare it away from that general area. I didn't want to kill it. I was just going to move it like into the hamster cage or some such. And Gojira is not going to kill it and eat it anymore, but I don't want to kill it. I just want to get it not in my common area. Thumbs up for that. I mean, spiders eat bugs, and thank goodness for that, especially as I've stated and will continue to state. I have the window of my room here open 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter if it's raining or snowing outside or if it's hot summer, that window is open. I have a kitty cat. She needs to get in and out. And I get hot, so I need the air moving all the time. But because of that, and the fact that the kitty cat needs to get in and out, I don't have a screen to cover it. And when it gets hot, like here, summertime, it's wide open. And since there's a forest out there, it's a bug factory. It's nice to have a forest. I love trees. And this is Washington State. It is evergreen state. We have all sorts of evergreens everywhere, so it's like almost always green. Lots of deciduous trees too. They lose their leaves, but lots of evergreens. So thumbs up for that. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Let's see, that's all of the weather and spider thing. I did go walkies last night, and I have been, though I was sad with it. I've talked about this, and I'll continue talking about it too, because it's really neat. I think it's neat that when you walk along, especially this one railroad track, because it's so close to this forest that's right behind the park, and so it's not a thick, huge forest area, but it's right at the base of where southern Shelton southern Shelton, which is hilly and mountains, meets lower Shelton, downtown Shelton, which is the floor of a valley. And so it's tucked right along here, and there's a ton of forest still up in southern Shelton. Because while down in downtown Shelton and in northern Shelton, it's tight packed roads, in southern Shelton, it's a small area of tight packed roads and then a lot of windy roads that go off with nothing but stuff around. So there's a lot of wilderness and hills and just areas that unless you tear it all down, you're not really going to be able to develop on. So a lot of forest, a lot of trails. It's a good thing. Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. There's two things here. One of them, I talked about boomerhood before and how cultural relevance, how it hurts, and I can understand how boomers, it hurts. I mean, physically by age, I'm just about the boomer age. You know, this, if you were born in like up to 1964, you're supposed to have been a boomer, and I was born in 62, but there were no boomers left by that time. I'm right at the end of the boomer and right before the next generation. It's Generation Jones. We're not demographically hit. If physically we may be boomer age, but there's nothing that boomer like up here. But I had been talking about, I can understand how boomers get pissed when you lose your cultural relevance, because everything that was huge, big, powerful for their lives, and it made changes on the world, and now 50, 60 years later, it's nothing, it's history book stuff. Is it important? Nobody cares. Keep it to yourself, boomer. And that hurts. It hurts to lose your cultural relevance. It really does. I mean, even when I was younger, the stuff from the 60s and the 70s, I mean, it hurts that even from the 80s, when I talk about groups like the Talking Heads and such to people, they don't know. Movies like Monty Python and the Holy Grail, 26-year-olds, they haven't seen it. They don't know. It hurts. I understand. But at the same time, you have to understand too. Because I had made a comment like that on Facebook, and I got a couple comments back, and one of them was like, he wasn't talking to me, talking to somebody else, but it was like the essence of boomerhood on that. Almost getting the point. It's like saying, yes, things change, this and does that and this, but you know, we had the good things like Elvis, and now everyone just has what's around today. Well, don't be so elitist about that. Yeah, the stuff like Elvis, yeah, that was important. He was big, but it wasn't really an organic movement. There was a lot less media back then. There were a lot fewer radio companies, and they were all individual. There were a lot fewer TV broadcast stations. Largely, if you wanted to watch TV, you watched with your rabbit ears, and there were the 3 networks, and that was it, except for stuff like public access. So there was not a ton of media. There was newspapers and movies and all that, yes. I mean, there was still a lot of media, but we didn't have instant access. When I was growing up, we still had party lines for telephones, landlines, where everybody in the neighborhood was connected on one line. Now it's everyone's got a cell phone, instant communication, internet. There was none of that. So the media and what was fed to us, that was decided. Was Elvis going to be really big on his own? Or was Elvis really big because the media companies also liked him and decided to push him hard? But nowadays, take a look. There's so much. Even if there is another Elvis right now or another Beatles, there's so much signal that they're drowned out. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I've read science fiction things where they talk about this, even before the internet came out, with all the stuff that comes out. It's like the need for curation and editing and doing that because there's just so much stuff. And that's what there is. I mean, again, we may have another Elvis or another Beatles out there right now, but there's so much signal. They're just lost in the noise. And there's nothing wrong with that. Thumbs up. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank 20 to 25 people for having left me a comment. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm just thanking you for having left a comment. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. And even though I count in American Sign Language on the fingers of this hand with my depression, fibro, brain damage from alcoholism, my untreated ADHD, I'm sometimes amazed I can remember anything at all. Getting better all the time, but also getting worse all the time. It's an endless fight against the heat death of my own personal universe. We have Ryan Keller, thumbs up and thank you, and Nicholas Fuentes, greatly appreciated, and then Robin Montgomery, totally misses the point and is unpleasant as well. Kathy Kiss Cat, thumbs up and thank you. We have Millie2203, thumbs up. Sebastian Ferris, greatly appreciated. Buwa Kamoli, I'm nowhere near close, but thank you so very, very much. It is appreciated. And Little Syrup, thumbs up and thank you. We have Tommy Nelson, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisner, good to see you. Mr. Sony, thumbs up and thank you. We have Dark Shark 213, I like that name. And Captain Keanu, thumbs up. We have Cheshire Kate, ooh, C-A-I-T, thumbs up and thank you. Lucifer, greatly appreciated. Ooh, Hex Heeks, H-E-X-E-H-E-E-X-E, thumbs up and thank you. We have Dude, thumbs up and thank you much. We have Lil Boney, thumbs up, and Artan64. And then there's a long conversation with a bunch of people like Long Nose and Elia Fibbin and AAV. And then the last one is Orasama93, and that is it. 23 people for having left individual comments on my videos. Thank you all so very much. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Greatly appreciated. I am so late today. I was 7:15 before I got started, and I usually start at 7 o'clock, so it's 7:33 a.m. I'm usually halfway done editing by now. Anyway, though, what else do I say? Oh yes, if you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron, like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. If you'd like to help me out, but you don't want to send money to one of those two places, boy, I just jumped the shark. I can't even talk English all of a sudden. I jumped the rails right there. If you wanted to help me out, but you didn't want to send money to one of those two places, yeah, PayPal or the... Oh my lord. I have a PayPal link down below if you could check that out. That would be very, very cool. I lost control of my tongue entirely. Good morning. I also have an Amazon wishlist link with things like cat food, and hamster bedding. If you could check that out, that would be very, very cool. Now, do not feel obligated. I do not feel entitled. And if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest. So thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get from my existence. A definite thumbs up. And of course, if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. That would be very cool and greatly appreciated, especially since YouTube made a big change and they went and turned off by default everybody's notifications. So you have to redo notifications. Thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I have this video here. Today I do have to record, edit, and render. It's going to be a Microsoft. It's going to be a Minecraft video. Normally I have better control of my tongue. It's almost like I'm suffering from rental tongue syndrome. Anyway, though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Of course, practice your self-care. These are hard times. Be careful. practice your social distancing. Please wear a mask. And yes, Black Lives Matter, damn it. And justice for everyone that the jackbooted, brown-shirted thugs keep killing. I'm not going to call them police. They're just pigs. I will see you on the flip side, my friend.